माय नेम इज शाश्वत एंड अब तक आप लोगों ने एनसीईआरटी में क्या पढ़ लिया वैसे? सब्जेक्ट्स इकोनॉमिक्स, ओके, अप टू 10th ओनली, एंड geography up to 9th, okay. And all of you are from college, like college going or college pass out? College going complete, okay. Okay, so यूपीएससी स्टडी के लिए बता दिया होगा, ऑलरेडी इंट्रो हो चुका होगा, एनसीईआरटी आर इम्पोर्टेंट। और बेसिक क्योंकि आप लोगों ने अभी स्टार्ट करा है तो बेसिक क्लियर करोगे तभी जाके एडवांस की जितने भी बुक्स होंगी वो जल्दी समझ में आएंगी, राइट। ये 6 की एनसीईआरटी देखी सबने, याद है किसी को इसमें क्या क्या था? थोड़ा बहुत कितना याद है? पहला चैप्टर अंडरस्टैंडिंग डाइवर्सिटी, यहीं से ओरल। व्हाट इज डाइवर्सिटी? एनीवन, व्हाट इज डाइवर्सिटी? डाइवर्स वर्ड का मतलब बता दो, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस वर्ड डाइवर्सिटी? हाँ, वैरायटी, डिफरेंसेस, ठीक है। यहाँ पे चैप्टर क्या बताना चाह रहा है? अंडरस्टैंडिंग डाइवर्सिटी, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ डाइवर्सिटी इज इट, वेयर दिस डाइवर्सिटी इज इट। हम क्या पढ़ रहे हैं? सिविक्स, पॉलिटिकल साइंस। कहाँ पे हो सकती है डाइवर्सिटी? वेयर दिस कैन बी? basically in our whole country in different aspects. You are diverse from other person in many sectors, in many areas, not even like places, like from places where you have come from, you have studied, or what the language you are, what the culture you belong. So this first chapter, basic introduction of the India only. Class 6 geography mein you have studied the geography of the India, basic, where does it lie, what is the longitude, latitudes. This was ye about the people, what kind of people we are having in this India, how they are different from other people, okay. Now NCERT, because it's basic and the 6th class or 7th class students has to be understood, so it is in the form of a story. We don't have to read the story, we have to just get the gist of it because we are preparing for the UPSC, okay. So what is the gist of it? Story start hui hai, kya hai yahan pe diagram se pata chal raha hai, these are 3 different diagrams prepared by 3 different students. So clearly they are different in aspects of the color background or the lines or the thought process ki kis tarike se hame banana hai, right. So in this way only we will move forward with this chapter. Wait a minute. So first, starting with diversity in India, we have skipped the story. What was the story of the diagram only? So diversity in India, what we were talking about, diversity in India, it can be on the basis of you are living in the north or in the south or in the east or in the west, because of the places. Now because you are living from a different place, you belong to a different place, your culture will be different, your language will be different, your way of living will be different, right. And in that way you will be like different, and also this diversity, what we call it as conflict appears, because that's a human tendency that our culture is superior than yours. When culture differences are there, what will come? Conflict. Differences are there, either you can accept the difference, or if you're not accepting the difference, it will create the conflict. So first in this chapter we'll understand what kind of diversity we have, then moving forward we'll understand what kind of conflict it can give, and how the government, because it's a polity, so how the government will be acting to solve all these conflicts, okay. So before moving forward, is total English okay or the bilingual language, like Hindi bhi bolna hai fir aise? Anyone have any like problem in total English? So I have to speak Hindi also, okay. So bilingual language chalta hai because one will not understand them. Diversity in India, we were talking about this only, different languages, we have various types of food, celebrate different festivals, practice different religions, and etc. So this we have discussed, okay. You all have NCERTs or you're just relying on this PPTs only? I'll work accordingly. You have NCERTs? PPT से work करोगे? Okay, ठीक है. इसमें उतने important ही screenshots हैं जहाँ पे highlight mark हो रखा है, because it's all about like examples बहुत ज़्यादा expand करे हुए हैं. You don't have to read the examples. एक बार में समझ में आ जाएगा, okay. Now, diversity also comes about when people adapt their lives to different geographical area. This also we have discussed. East, west, north, south, wherever you belong to, you will give to a different diversity. Like we can also see you also diverse. Also, North people are totally different from the South Indian peoples in every aspect. Even in the speaking same language. Even if you are speaking same language, English, you will be different, right? So basic they are telling. Tell me if it's going too fast, okay? Because it's 6 NCERT. Yes, jaldi chalegi. Now, few are very important, like marked points. These are important for the prelims. ऐसा नहीं है कि यहीं से मिलेंगे बस. ये अगर करंट अफेयर मैगजीन पढ़ लोगे बाद में तो उससे मिल जाता है, बट जब पढ़ ही रहे हो एनसीईआरटी, मार्क दीस, याद रहेंगे. ठीक है, कुछ ऐसे कुछ अलग से पॉइंट नहीं है, यही सेम पॉइंट उठा के वहां पे लिख देते हैं. इन द करंट अफेयर मैगजीन, व्हाट इज द करंट अफेयर न्यूज, सपोज लद्दाख इज इन द न्यूज, बैकग्राउंड देते हैं कुछ अबाउट या बैकग्राउंड ऑफ दिस कल्चर और समथिंग, वहां पे यही सब चीजें लिखी होती हैं. ओके, सो वो बहुत हैवी लगता है याद करने में, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. दिस इज द ओनली थिंग. ठीक है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल पश्मीना वूल, यू ऑल्सो नो, अगर प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन देखे हैं तो क्वेश्चन बनता है ईदर इन द स्टेटमेंट फॉर्म, स्टेटमेंट मिल जाएगी दैट दिस बिलोंग्स टू दिस पर्टिकुलर एरिया, दिस इज मैन्युफैक्चर्ड देयर और समथिंग एल्स. सो ओके, सो ये कुछ मार्क्ड पॉइंट्स हैं. फर्स्ट चैप्टर में वैसे भी ज्यादा कुछ नहीं है और 6th है बेसिक, तो थोड़ा जल्दी हो सकता है, बट अंडरस्टैंड कि हमें सिर्फ मतलब समझना है. डाइवर्सिटी है पहले, देन गवर्नमेंट है, सिर्फ वर्ड्स के मतलब समझते चलना है. देन विल गो फॉरवर्ड इन 7th और 8th की वर्किंग कैसे होती है. पहले हमने मतलब समझ लिया, देन विल गो इनटू द डेप्थ की वर्किंग कैसे होती है. देन इन द एंड इन 11th एंड 12th देन विल गो टू व्हाट इज द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, जो पूरा लक्ष्मीकांत में कवर्ड है. वो तब समझ में आएगा जब बेसिक मतलब पता होंगे. ठीक है, सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल लद्दाख, यू ऑल्सो नो इट्स अ डेजर्ट. कैसा डेजर्ट है? कोल्ड डेजर्ट. कहाँ पड़ता है? ईस्ट ऑफ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर. दिस लाइंस बहुत सिंपल लग रही होगी, बट ये अगर स्टेटमेंट फॉर्म में आ जाए इसी तरीके से, दैट ईस्ट ऑफ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, हो सकता है जिन्होंने नहीं रीड किया ट्रिकी लग सकती है. दैट ईस्ट में पड़ता है, कहाँ पड़ता है, राइट? This whole paragraph is actually important. मैंने कुछ important point ही mark करे. Very little agriculture is possible there since the region does not receive any rain and is covered in the snow for the larger part of the year. क्या क्या चीजें होती हैं यहाँ पे? ये है, very few trees are there, and for drinking water people depend on the melting of the snow. ये थोड़ा logical भी है, but ठीक है, read कर लिया हमने यहाँ से. Then important is पश्मीना wool. पश्मीना wool कहाँ से belong करती है? हाँ, कश्मीर. ठीक है, बीच में एक क्वेश्चन भी आया था, आई डोंट रिमेंबर द ऑप्शंस, बट उसमें पश्मीना वूल का एक क्वेश्चन था. इट वाज इन द बिकॉज जीआई टैग्स पढ़ोगे आगे जाके, जीआई टैग्स भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो जीआई टैग्स मिलते हैं, तो जिसे नहीं मिला ये मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि उसके क्वेश्चन नहीं आ सकते. कभी कभी क्या होता है, नॉमिनेट होते हैं बट दे डोंट गेट द टैग, उसके ऊपर भी क्वेश्चन बन सकता है. सो डोंट अवॉइड कि जीआई टैग तो बस इन को मिला है, हमें सिर्फ यही पढ़ना है. नहीं, जिसे नहीं मिला, जो हो सकता है नॉमिनेट हुआ हो, उसके बारे में एक छोटी सी नॉलेज, कहाँ से है और उस रीजन की क्या स्पेसिफिसिटी है. ठीक है, now people here keep sheep and goats. The goats in this region are very special because they produce the pashmina wool. The people in the Ladakh carefully collect the wool and the goats and sell this traders from the Kashmir. Pashmina shawls are chiefly woven in the Kashmir. तो यहाँ पे आगे तुम्हारा एग्जाम्पल कश्मीर से बिलोंग करती है. ओके, any NCERT, not only this, other subject also, डायग्राम के नीचे वाली या तो कोई इंफॉर्मेशन होगी डायग्राम को एक्सप्लेन करती हुई, या फिर उसका कोई बॉक्स होगा, फैक्चुअल बॉक्स, वो जरूर पढ़ लेना. नॉट बिकॉज कि वो तुम्हें बहुत इजी लगे कि ये प्रीलिम्स में नहीं आएगा, और हो सकता है ना आए, बट तुम्हें आंसर राइटिंग में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट काम करेगा वो. स्टार्टिंग करने के लिए, इंट्रो देने के तुम्हारे पास लाइंस नहीं होती हैं, कैसे इंट्रोडक्शन दोगे इंडिया का, थोड़ी बहुत लाइंस यहाँ से बस पिकअप करके, नॉट फ्रॉम हियर बट बता दूंगी बीच बीच में. एग्जाम्पल अभी आएगा, एक विलेज का चैप्टर है, उसमें से कुछ नंबर्स, कुछ फैक्ट्स, चीजें, ज्यादा कुछ नहीं करना, अलग से नोटबुक नहीं बनानी, बस वहीं पर लिख लो, हाँ ठीक है इतने हमारे पास विलेजेस हैं या इतने हमारे पास कुछ चीजें हैं. प्री में नहीं आते क्वेश्चंस, बट आंसर राइटिंग में दे आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ठीक है, ध्यान रखना बस इन चीजों का. ये पढ़ लिया. देन पीपल ईट, ये ठीक है. यहाँ पे याक काउस, याक काउस का अलग नेम दे रखा है जोस, डी साइलेंट जोस. ठीक है, अब ये भी नाम आ सकता है वहां पे, प्री का क्वेश्चन है, यू कैन नॉट इग्नोर दिस. मना भी नहीं कर सकते कि नहीं आएगा, बिकॉज एनिमल्स के बारे में पढ़ोगे ही. अगर इन पे कोई एक्सपेरिमेंट हुआ या ये किसी प्रोडक्शन में इंपॉर्टेंट लाइक न्यूज आ गई, अगेन दिस विल बिकम इंपॉर्टेंट. और कुछ बड़ी चीज नहीं है, 6 के एनसीईआरटी में ही दिया हुआ है इसका अदर नेम. तो हमें लगता है कि इतनी मोटी मोटी करंट अफेयर्स की बुक हमें पढ़नी पड़ेंगी, बट इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी। वो तुम्हें बेसिक एनसीईआरटी पढ़ोगे, ध्यान से पढ़ते हो चलो बस, क्लियर एवरीथिंग। सेम गोज विद योर साइंस, एनवायरमेंट एंड ज्योग्राफी एज वेल। हिस्ट्री तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट, वहां पे बहुत सारे बॉक्सेस दे रखे हैं, बहुत सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन दे रखी है रूलर्स की, जो शायद बाद में भी ना पढ़ पाओ, उसमें से जरूर पढ़ लेना। ओके, तो इतना हमने पढ़ लिया, ये बहुत नॉर्मल है। तो स्टोरी बता रखी है, डिड नॉट अट्रैक्ट इट्स शेयर ऑफ ट्रेडर्स, ट्रेड ज्यादा होता नहीं वहां पे, ठीक है। क्यों नहीं हो पाता? बिकॉज एक तो फर्टाइल लैंड कम है, आधे ज्यादा टाइम दे कवर्ड विद द स्नो, तो नहीं हो पा रहा पॉसिबल। जितना होता है उतने में से दे कवर। स्पेशल क्या है? पश्मीना वूल, ऑल्सो द याक काउस फॉर ट्रैवलिंग एंड फॉर कैरिंग थिंग्स, ठीक। नाउ बुद्धिज्म रीच तिब्बत वाया लद्दाख, दिस कैन बी पोटेंशियल स्टेटमेंट। यहाँ पे भी कोई स्टोरी नहीं दिखेगी, कुछ एक होल लॉन्ग कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं आया है जो मैं एक मतलब उसके बेसिस में समझाऊं। यहाँ पे बस कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें मिल रही है यहाँ पे, वी कैन से वन लाइनर्स फॉर द स्टेटमेंट पर्पस, ठीक है। सो बुद्धिज्म रीच तिब्बत वाया लद्दाख, लद्दाख इज ऑल्सो नोन एज लिटिल तिब्बत, दीज आर फैक्चुअल स्टेट्स। एक छोटा सा कॉर्नर बनाओ पेज पे, उस पर लिखते जाओ बस, ठीक है। या फिर ये पीपीटी मिल जाएगी, अगर पीपीटी से पढ़ोगे तो उससे पढ़ लेना, ठीक है। बस इस तरह से रखना अपने उसमें। Now, also, Islam was introduced in this region more than 400 years ago, and there is significant Muslim population here. Ladakh has very rich oral tradition of songs and poems. These are known as Kesar Saga. Again, a potential question. Kesar Saga. Either they can ask Kesar Saga से direct question बन सकता है, 4 options, या फिर this can be potential statement. Kesar Saga is कुछ भी आगे लाइन बना सकते हैं वो लोग। So composition of, लोकेशन चेंज कर देंगे, या कॉम्पोजिशन का कुछ नाम अलग चेंज कर देंगे, डांस फॉर्म बना देंगे, ठीक है। सो वो ध्यान रखना है, व्हाट इज इट। केसर सागा इज अ लोकल वर्जन ऑफ तिब्बतन नेशनल एपिक ऑफ सॉरी द केसर सागा, दैट इज द नेम ऑफ द केसर सागा, मतलब दैट्स द मीनिंग ऑफ द केसर सागा। आर परफॉर्म्ड एंड सung by both Muslim and Buddhist, both। यहाँ पे चेंज करके क्या लिख सकते हैं? ओनली, that it belongs to only Muslims or only Buddhists. It's belong to both are performing, okay। So this, ये चीजें पकड़नी है यहाँ से। 6th में अगर कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है, प्री लाइक बहुत चीजें मिल जाएंगी, और हर सब्जेक्ट की बुक में होंगी, ठीक है। 6th हो चाहे 7th हो, बिकॉज दिस इज अ स्टेट ओन बुक, तो स्टेट अपना कुछ तो इसमें लिखेगा ढंग से, और इसमें से ही क्वेश्चन निकाले जाते हैं। नाउ अब दिस वाज अबाउट द लद्दाख, दिस इज अबाउट द केरला। Surrounded by sea on one side and hills on the other. याद आ रहा, कुछ स्टेटमेंट्स भी इसी तरह की बनती है। प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस अगर एक बार ग्लांस कर लेना, सॉल्व मत करो अभी, बट एक बार ग्लांस करोगे दिखेगा स्टेटमेंट्स इसी तरीके से बनती हैं। अगर सिर्फ इंडिविजुअल यू आर फोकसिंग ऑन द स्टेटमेंट्स ओनली, पूरा क्वेश्चन पे तुम लोग अटक जाते हो, क्वेश्चन अरे कहाँ से आ गया ये क्वेश्चन, स्टेटमेंट्स बहुत टफ लग रही है, रीड ओनली द स्टेटमेंट। सिंपल स्टेटमेंट होती है, बट बिकॉज वी कैन नॉट कनेक्ट द स्टेटमेंट विद द क्वेश्चन, हमें वो टफ लगता है। केरला के ऊपर क्वेश्चन है, उनमें से 4 स्टेटमेंट में से एक स्टेटमेंट दिस करती, कंफ्यूजन हो जाएगी वहीं पे। ज्योग्राफी में हमने पढ़ा नहीं, पढ़ोगे, जिस ध्यान रखना है कि हमने जरूरी नहीं है ज्योग्राफी का क्वेश्चन ज्योग्राफी से ही पूछा जा रहा है, दिस इज इंटरकनेक्टेड। सेम इन द इंटरव्यू एज वेल। इंटरव्यू में ये नहीं है कि आप जो अपना सब्जेक्ट वहां बताओगे, मेंस का या अपने उसका, तो उसी से क्वेश्चन आएंगे, ऐसा नहीं है। इट कैन बी कनेक्टेड विद अदर सब्जेक्ट एज वेल। सो सोनली सिर्फ उस पर लामत करना कि वी आर स्टडिंग सोशियोलॉजी ओनली, सोशियोलॉजी से ही क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे, नो। सोशियोलॉजी में सबसे पहले आता है सोशियोलॉजी एज अ डिसिप्लिन, उसके बाद हैज अ कनेक्शन विद एवरीथिंग, एंथ्रो से भी कनेक्शन है और बाकी चीजों से भी कनेक्शन है, तो कैसे कनेक्शन बना, ठीक है। नाउ वन इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, ब्रिंगिंग क्रिश्चियनिटी टू इंडिया। क्रिश्चियनिटी एंटर्ड इंडिया थ्रू केरला, थ्रू केरला ओनली। ये चीज जो आएगी सॉरी हिस्ट्री में आती है, दैट डिफरेंट रिलीजन्स हु केम फर्स्ट, फ्रॉम वेयर, विच पोर्ट और विच स्टेट दे एंटर्ड, okay। So this is one important thing, that Christianity entered India through Kerala, okay। Now Ibn Battuta in history, water, okay, okay, where was he? Okay, Ibn Battuta, Ibn Battuta, who traveled here a little less than 700 years ago, wrote the travelogue in which he described the lives of the Muslims. So he was a traveler, and this traveler wrote about, like, he wrote the book about the lives of the Muslims. Okay, travelogue. Like when you go travel somewhere and you write about their culture and everything, then it becomes a travelogue. So lives of Muslim he described. Ibn Battuta. Major portion you read in the history part. Okay. Portuguese discovered the sea route to India from Europe when Vasco da Gama landed with his ship here. Again, this was also entered from the Kerala. Few factual information from the first chapter. Okay. Now, this we have studied. Okay. This was the first one. Christianity was introduced in India through Kerala, and who came? Saint Thomas. Okay, Saint Thomas came. So this is now Kerala practiced different religions such as Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, etc. These were because earlier the communication, or we can say the traveling part, was through the sea routes. So when through sea routes, everyone came from the sea routes and entered through the port side only. The only difference is either from the Kerala or from the some other side. So from Kerala, they entered, and hence, therefore, the Kerala is the mixture of these many cultures. Okay. Till now, everything is clear, or like it's skipping somewhere, or you cannot understand it. Connect kar pa rahe ho? Now, these all are just factual points, point-wise point. There's nothing like story built in here. Just a point-wise point. Fishing nets. Fishing nets, they are known as Chinawala. The name of the fishing nets, they are the Chinawala. And from here only, this word, what we say in Hindi from China word, China country ke liye, what the Hindi word is? Chin. So Chin word might have come from here only. Not have, might have come. Okay, they are giving us could have come from this China word. Only it was China, and because of the specific fishing nets, Chinawala. Okay, the diagram is also given here. And China chatti is one of the we can say utensil. That's a frying pan. So Hindi mein we can say kadhai. So that is China chatti. Okay. The fertile land and climate are suited to growing rice. Means the majority production will be of rice only. Okay, because it is supporting the rice growth, rice cultivation. Next, till now we have seen, or we have discussed the diversity, that country is diverse in language, culture, and agriculture as well, many things. Next topic is unity in diversity. Why we talk about unity and diversity? India is diverse in many aspects. And if diversity means differences will prevail. What will arise? Conflict. As in the beginning of the class, I asked that conflict will be arising due to this diversity, because your culture is below me, my culture is above everyone. This will create conflict. Now, to resolve this conflict, what we talk about? Unity and diversity. Means one word for it. If you remember, kind of a word, brotherhood or something. Fraternity. In preamble also, this word is mentioned, fraternity. That means nothing but this unity. We need unity. Fraternity, why we are promoting this fraternity? Bhaichara, in Hindi word we say na, bhaichara. What is this? Fraternity. Means even if you are from different culture or different language or anything, we have to be united among these differences. We have to accept it. And that's why many steps have been taken by the government, that to promote this unity and diversity, that we are diverse, fine, but we have to promote the unity in order to become one whole nation. Okay. So this is all unity and diversity. This topic is telling about that we are having many religions, cultures, but we need to accept the differences and we need to stay united. Okay, because earlier what had happened, because of this diversity only and differences only, Britishers were able to rule us. So now, to not allow anyone else to rule us, we have to be united. Now, these are the examples given that from where you can see this scenario that we were united or this unity was promoted. Songs and symbols that emerged during the freedom struggle serves as a constant reminder of our country's rich tradition of aspect of diversity. When you start studying history, you'll come across different revolts took place in different regions. But to get united, we have to promote something. What kind of something? Like you are from different culture, we are for different culture. We'll come on a single pact. We'll do this for you and you'll do this for us. Because our common enemy is Britishers. We have to fight against them. Right? So unity. Many songs and symbols, many parties were formed. In history that you will all read, that many parties were formed. And everyone joined. They were open to all. If you remember, this point should be noticed that they were open to all. Why they were open to all? Because as of now, present time here, what we have to do, what is our priority? To get united against one common enemy, Britishers. If we are fighting amongst ourselves only, we cannot fight Britishers. So from there, we can see that unity is important. Indian unity is not something imposed from the outside, but rather it was something deeper and within its fold. The wildest tolerance of beliefs and custom was practiced and very variety acknowledged, even encouraged. This means nothing but the same thing which I was explaining, that it's not coming from outside only. It will come from inside only. You have to accept it from your heart that this Indian, like for example, if you have seen here, Northeast students might be in your colleges. Northeast students kuch honge. They are not now, but they were facing some kind of issues in this area. Why they were facing? Because they belong to different culture, because they have different language, they have different livelihood. Like their lifestyle is different. Okay, so they were, and they even on the structure of like their body structure and their facial structure, they are different. So hence they were like alienated from here, because all North people here look alike. More or less, they look alike. So if someone else coming here, even South Indian people or someone else, then either on the basis of their language or culture or their structure or something, they are some kind, in some way, they are alienated. So hence, this is also removed. Government took steps, and this will come from inside only. If not coming from inside, then government will impose some kind of rules and laws in order to get you in the line. Okay. So this was all about the first chapter, unity in diversity, understanding diversity basically. Diversity means, the gist is diversity means differences. You are different in many aspects. Differences are there. Differences will give rise to conflicts. Conflicts will be given rise. Then in this chapter, it was not given, but in the further chapter, it will be given that government will be dealing with these conflicts. Okay. And a few statements which were given in this chapter, you can note it down for your answer writing. For example, if the answer is coming on the aspect of this diversity or unity or something, to explain some kind of words are also asked to explain in the mains. That explain this word only. So that for that, you have to have a content. So you can write those lines. Like the quotations which were given, you can note down these. Okay. Is this chapter clear? Anything to ask in this chapter or question? Next, diversity and discrimination. Discrimination. That was the thing which I already discussed in the first chapter, discrimination. When there are differences, you will discriminate among yourselves, among themselves, people will discriminate among, and with this discrimination, it will give rise to conflicts. So this chapter will be telling about what kind of discrimination they are facing. Okay. What kind of discrimination they can face? To caste, gender, any other? बस यही तो होता है. Religion. There are many. Okay, again, to start with this, just an introduction. There are 8 major religions in the world. So just an introductory line. Again, can be used for the mains answer. Okay. What you have to understand, this whole paragraph, 1600 languages, etc. for the introduction of your any of the mains answer. Okay. Now, diversity is not always celebrated. This was what we were discussing. It is not always celebrated. When there are differences, when there are diversity, you'll not always celebrate. You'll make fun, or you will be like alienating that person or that whole community, which we have seen from our past, we can say past lives as well. In history also, you have come across that some castes were alienated on the basis of because of their work. Like the caste was created because of that work, and now they were fit into that caste only, that you belonging to this caste only, Dalit, you have to do this work only. Okay, earlier, if you're going deeper in the history, you'll find out that it was not the caste initial that was coming about. It was only the work of the people that was giving the name. Now, then it become by birth only. Okay, so this caste or many other things, it will not be always celebrated. Either the government will be doing something, or mainly the government will do, because differences are there, it will not be celebrated. Till now, Hindu Muslims, they don't celebrate each other. They do not. Even living in the same country, you have seen many other conflicts arise, rallies are going on. Okay. So these are things, and then the government will come into play, that they have to control it. Protest will go on. Okay. So it's the meaning diversity is not always celebrated. Here's the one word, prejudice. Anyone can tell what is the meaning of prejudice? Kind of a judgment. Considering a community inferior, or considering any culture or religion, anything, considering anything, but because of your own mind or mindset. And mainly that is negative. That will be negative. If you are like accepting it, that will not be prejudice. You're prejudicing something means you are giving a negative feedback of that thing. You are giving a negative judgment of that particular community or culture or language. Okay, that is a prejudice. And this will come difference. Like this will coming because of the differences only. Differences are there, you are prejudicing. You are giving a negative judgment. You think that you and your culture is only above and everything else is below. Okay, so simple meaning of the prejudice is negative judgment. Prejudice means to judge other people negatively or see them as inferior. It is a negative judgment on any basis, caste basis, color basis, gender basis, anything. Okay, that's a prejudice. We are making our opinion about certain things, and that is moreover the negative one, not the positive one. We're thinking negatively for something. Okay, that is prejudice. This is only activity given. Now, creating stereotypes. What is the meaning of stereotype? Stereotype.
Thinking about the one time, not accepting others.
कहते हैं ना कि पुरानी सोच है. So what is that पुरानी सोच मतलब? It is a I'm coming to that. हाँ, orthodox पुरानी सोच, ठीक है. Now in that thing also we have created some perfect rule for us that this should be done like this only. That is a stereotype. Okay, that is a stereotype that we have created, not anyone else. The government has not created that rule for us. We have created because of some orthodox thinking. Okay, because of the orthodox thinking, because in earlier times this used to happen. Now this is the rule. If girls cannot study, girls cannot go for a job. This was the orthodox thinking which created the stereotype. Because we are not accepting the time in this era. Not accepting it. We are giving that this was the rule stated. And who stated? Our earlier people only stated. Okay, because of their orthodox thinking. We are saying that that was the orthodox thinking, but for them, that was their present time thinking. There were some kind of reasons why they didn't allow the girls to study or to go out for a job. There was the reasons. Now, those reasons were one by one taken up by the government and they were like sorted out. Even for the education, then new schemes and policies were created through which the girls were sent to the schools and they were educated. Okay. So now, creating stereotypes. One basic, we know that gender difference. Gender difference, we have listened many times that for boys as well, that don't cry like a girl. What is this? It's a stereotype. Don't cry like a girl. Okay. And if you're a girl, sit properly, walk properly. Don't say like this. These are all stereotypes. And not only one gender, because it's a gender stereotype, both will listen in some or any other aspects. But from now, if you can see from now, present time, you can see that time has changed a lot. Time has changed a lot. And it was not changed like smoothly and swiftly. It was created due to the conflicts only. There were discrimination, there were differences, then there were conflicts, and that created the stereotypes, which are now being sorted and handled up by the government. Okay. Okay, another word here is disabled. Disabled, the word itself is negative. Now, when you come across a word, any word, I'm not saying disabled only, when you come across any word, you can think about it of a negative way also and also a positive way also. A glass is half filled or half empty. One is negative aspect, negative approach, one is positive approach. Same way here, disabled. Disabled means like that person is not able to do that something, anything. It cannot see, cannot hear, or cannot walk properly. It can be anything. But disable itself, when we hear disabled word, what image it is giving? It's a negative image. Like you are not being able to do something. We are full sufficient, we can do anything, but you are disabled, you will not be able to do it. And hence that word has been changed with the special needs. That children with special needs. Okay. Because this was giving, now that will come in the other like subject, because this word and your thought process, because of this word, was giving a, we can say, trauma to these people as well. Because of these words only, they were alienated again, that this is not a place for disabled ones. So again, a negative approach. But when you think of that person is with a special needs, when you have talked about need means zarurat, right? When you're talking about need, that itself is giving some kind of positive thing. You need something. And what you need? Some special needs. You'll create some other, we can say, arrangement in order to fulfill those special needs. Okay, just to give a change in thought process, nothing else. Okay, so that people should change. In school, children, small children, like they should not be treated badly because of this word. You are disabled. It's just the game of the words only. Okay. Okay, now stereotype we have discussed. Stereotype can be on like many things. I've discussed only 2 or 3 things. It can be on many things, like here we have given here. Many examples are given here in order to understand a 6th standard student. Okay, you got the idea of what is stereotype. Inequality and discrimination. Now, when we're talking about discrimination, differences, okay, now this is giving, for example, disabled only. Now, that is also giving a rise to the inequality. How the inequality? Because you cannot do this thing, so you will be not present in this class, suppose, example. Okay, that is inequality. That we have in the differences only, in the discrimination only, in the process of this discrimination, because of diversity, we have created some kind of inequality. Okay, So this inequality, and now inequality can be with anyone, not only with the disabled. It was just an example, can be with anyone. Discrimination was on the basis of many aspects, and in those aspects only there will come the inequality, because you are not treating them equally. Okay. Discrimination happens when people act on their prejudice, means their thought process, which is moreover the negative one, that they have a negative thought for particular culture or for particular people. Judgment is negative, or they are kind of a stereotype. The old rules which they have accepted that it is now the rule of a government, which is not. Okay. Like for example, here it's given, if you do something that put other people down, if you stop them from taking part in certain activities and taking up jobs, or stop them living in certain neighborhoods, prevent them from taking water, etc., etc. These are all because of your prejudice, because of your some kind of stereotype, you have created the inequality. Example of inequality is one caste was alienated, that was Dalit, and that was not allowed to sit with the people, and they were not allowed to drink the same water which the other people are drinking. They were treated as untouchables. They were called untouchables. That was inequality. Okay, rights have came later on. Earlier there was no, we can say, no scene of this rights, that rights should be there. And we have this right. You cannot even ask that I have this right. No, we're just suffering from that kind of thing. Rights came very later on, when they revolted against it. Discrimination can take place because of several reasons. All we have discussed, several reasons were there, and it's just an example of NCERT. Now, common stereotype. Again, stereotype means coming from a prejudice only, that they have a thinking of some kind of thing, that Muslim, they are not interested in educating the girls. There was some kind of reason why they were not sending girls to the schools, because of earlier there were no facilities. Okay, there were no classrooms, there were no different washrooms. So they were afraid, and it's depending not only the Muslims, we have created this kind of a stereotype that Muslims do not send. Many people were there who were not sending their girls to the school because of this reason only. Also, one kind of stereotype that you eventually have to get married. Why you have to study? Okay, so hence the only male person was, only the boys were gone, sent to the school for the education. Okay, this was stereotype that they only can handle the family, and hence so they should be educated but not the girls. So hence girls should learn the household chores. They eventually have to do the household work only. So they were engaged in that work. Again, however, studies have shown that poverty amongst the Muslims is an important reason why Muslim girls do not attend the schools or drop out from the school after a few years. Why this study was created, the study happened, why this survey was taken. Because there was this kind of a stereotype. Now we want, inequality was created, we want equality now. When we have to give equality, you have to study why there is inequality. First you have to study now why there is inequality. If girls are not going to school, what is the core reason behind it? So the study was taking place. This came out for the Muslims. Other reasons might have came out for other communities. Then every aspect was taken, policies were created, rules were created, and hence they were solved. Okay, when this was taken, so you remember Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Remember? This has two things. Two stereotypes were solved in this. First is second is the education. First one is Beti Bachao, means female feticide was decreased. Because of the burden, because of that particular burden of the finances that this girl will be born, we have to get her married, we have to give the dowry. So who will take care of the burden? So they were killed in the fetus only. Okay, so this both things were taken care of here. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. So in this thing, many first that was created Beti Bachao. Okay. Next is the education. Now, educating part is the toughest one. Why? Because you have to convince other people to send the girl to the school. Because you have to send the girl to the school, you don't know what is happening there. So they have to ensure the security. They have to give some kind of, we can say, assurance that we have separate washroom, we have this separate classroom for the girls, like girls will be different and boys classroom will be different. Whatever the core reason of that community was. Why in present time also we have different only boys schools, only girls schools. And also they are also running. It's not that thing that girls are not going to that school. Parents are still sending them to school because of some kind of their thought process only. They're sending them to the only girls school. At least girls are getting educated. Whatever the reason, whatever thing has to be done, they were ensuring that thing. Okay, and only because of one step only. For example, creating a second different washroom, a separate washroom, only increase the attendance of the girls. Okay. Now, discrimination was also not because of this culture or your religion, but also you're facing in some kind of like public places as well. Okay, so hospital schools, this was okay, not the same, it's the same, sorry, the same one. They were in the public places only, they were discriminated on the same aspects, sex, race, and your culture, religion. Okay, this was all treated, and new we can say fundamental right was written in the constitution. What is that right, if you remember? For equality, if anyone has studied. Okay, we'll come to that articles part later on. Abhi articles ka naam nahi lete, because in 11th 12th articles will be coming upon. Okay, articles and schedules, important ones. So remember this thing, this were the problems. We are now, as of now, dealing with the problems only. Then the government will come into play, and what kind of we can say solutions the government has taken. Okay, some people may experience both kind of discrimination, that they are poor and they belong to the group whose culture is not valued. Because they are financially weak, they cannot do that thing. Plus, they are also belonging to some kind of a below caste. So they are facing two kinds of discrimination. Person belonging to an upper caste, but it's poor. That person will also be facing the discrimination, but on the basis of only the finances. That person, if not allowed in this class, that will be on the basis of the finances only, not because of the caste. But the person belonging to the lower caste will have to face two kind of issues, that the finances are not there, and also that person is belonging to the lower caste. Two kind of discrimination. Not only two kind of, there can be many kind of discrimination. Now, this was that study of the Muslim community only, that why the girls were not going to the school and what has done after that. It increased the girls attendance after this scheme, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, in every community, not only in the Muslims, but in every community. Okay. This we all know, that caste system, if we are discriminated on the basis of the caste system, the caste, then why that caste is discriminated? There can be a reason. That you belong to a lower caste, why it is considered as a lower class? Because I told you that earlier it was the work which was separated. Then it became the birth, that by birth you are from this caste. Even if you're not doing that work, you belong to that caste only. Okay, so that work was treated as impure or dirty or of low value. Because the work was low value, or we can say impure work, that person, that people, that community was separated. Those all people were like alienated from the village or area wherever they are living, and they were called untouchables or a particular caste, Dalit. And because the generation will come upon, because of these generations only, they were called that by birth you are now Dalit only, even if you're not doing that work. Okay, so again, here comes a prejudice, here comes a discrimination, that the other person, the work of other person is below us. We are doing some kind of a superior work, and that person is doing a inferior work. Okay. Now, this is the word unworthy. Why they were called as unworthy, untouchables? Because of their particular work only. That was considered as dirty, impure, or of low value. And hence a separate caste was created. Okay. Again, was because of the social prejudice, which I already explained. Because social prejudice only. Now, Bhimrao Ambedkar, they have given a story that where this conflict we can see, conflict or we can say discrimination we can see, that the father of the constitution, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, also have experienced the same kind of discrimination. So one story is given here, that's it. And because he was facing all these things, so any one of the community can stand up. He became Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar because he was not accepting the terms of the other person. So hence he stood up and worked for it. Other peoples remained because they were accepting it. Okay, we are untouchables, we'll be separate. We are not that powerful enough to fight against these people or fight against the Brahmins. Okay. And they were also called Mahar. Mahar is just caste only, that the particular term we are giving them. Ambedkar was the first person, his caste, who completed his college education and went to England to become a lawyer. He was from the first person only. And because he has seen many kind of discrimination amongst the people of his community, with his own father, with himself only, he stood up that no, I will not remain in this caste only. I will study. I will go out for the studies. So further studies were completed here only with many sufferings. If you have gone through any of the story of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, because of this stereotype or we can say discrimination only, he used to study from the very back of the class. Like he has done many of the things. Water was not allowed. He was sitting like thirsty and go home and then drink water. No water was allowed. But then after the growing years, he changed the thing. Story was given, and because of this discrimination only, we are striving for the equality from the time of the Britishers only. Britishers also treated, and Britishers also took advantage of this discrimination. We ourselves are doing discrimination. Britishers never came and do a discrimination of the untouchables. We were doing the discrimination, hence they also started. Okay, and then this we can say the discrimination reached the peak. Then it was, we can say, new rules and new. It basically starts with just a stand up, just a voice out. Any one person can voice this out. Then the whole like community will join you. You can do many things, and that was Bhimrao Ambedkar. He did it for his community, and we know that what all he has done. The whole constitution was written by the Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Which are we following? Okay. Now, from the time of this independence struggle only, leaders created a vision that we should have some kind of document. And that document will be containing certain kind of rules to rule this whole community and the country. And that should contain some kind of important aspects in which equality was also given. Okay, because they knew that we are doing whatever kind of fight we are doing or revolt we are doing, we need the support of other community as well. If one community is not supporting you, that revolt will never be successful. And we have seen, you'll study history and you'll see that, okay, this revolt again failed because some were against and some were not supporting. Some were like neutral, like we'll not support you, but we are also against the Britishers. But we'll not support you in your revolt. Okay, so support is very much necessary, because then Britishers, what will do? They'll see, okay, this community is not supporting, we'll use this community. This was all happening. And later on, with this struggle of the freedom only, this equality would also came, that we need to be equal. This community has also be treated equally. In present time, we know that untouchability has been like abolished by the law, and that is Article 17. We'll study the article later on, Article 17. And there are many other things, like this was only the caste basis. This was only untouchability. That has a particular article. There are many other things which were creating inequality. For example, in earlier, we know that we had a system of kings and queens. Rulers were there. Okay. And rulers used to create a long name, Maharaja, Dhiraj, and many things. So they were creating themselves that, okay, your name is very small, like Rahul. Okay, that is created long enough, or we can say superior enough with the name of the Maharaja or Dhiraj, whatever we are giving, whatever post we are giving them. Okay, and normal people were created as inferior ones. Now, when the ruler system, this ruling and the kings and queen system also gone, still they had the titles. And still the people, you know, till now date, you can have some people talking about that we belong to a royal family. That our generation was a royal family, but now because this rule has come, Article 18 has come that no one can have a title except from the academic ones. Otherwise, they will also be having some kind of a prince or some kind of a name behind before their name. Okay, and that will create some kind of discrimination again. In your particular class only, you just have your name and surname. That's it. In the surname only, people find the caste only. But if you're also having some kind of like prince, whatever name, or we can say princess, some kind of a name, then that person will be treated like a queen or some kind of a high priest lady. So that inequality was decreased. Some inequality were decreased, or we can say reduced or abolished with the help of the awareness only. For some, we had to create the rules. For example, untouchability, people will never accept that we will not treat you as untouchable. So hence rule was given that now it has become a crime. Same thing was with the royal family. Because you know that you are royal family, you will have some kind of advantages. Why you will leave your title? This Article 18 was made because that you have to leave your title. You will ask simple, whatever your name is. You're not prince, you're not princess, you're not king or queen. Because no special advantage will be given because you are a prince or you belong to a royal family, which was ruling in some early years. Only the academic titles are allowed. Your doctor, yes, you can given be a certain advantage. Okay, and the military ones. Other titles have been removed. So articles you can like remember afterwards. You will study in the 11th, 12th as well. And the whole NCERT is filled with the, whole Lakshmikant is filled with the articles only. Okay, but these are the basic ones. Like untouchability was removed, abolished by the law. So focus on this that, okay, we have created some kind of awareness, but when things are not resolved with the awareness, we have to create a law. We have to force people to accept that thing. Okay, now this, because why it was making, why the government made it a law? Because law will be accepted, law will be followed, and you have to accept the equality. You have to respect the diversity and you have to like live peacefully with that diversity. Now, because of this differences, this inequalities have been removed, people were having a more of the freedom to follow their life with many things, like with education, because untouchability was stopping them to acquire education, acquiring jobs, and many things. So they got they got all out of the freedom because of this Article 17 only. And with the Article 18, because titles are removed, many people will become equal. No one is royal family, no one belongs to royal family now, and everyone is equal. No special advantage given to you because your fathers or forefathers were belonging to the royal family. Only given if you are having some kind of academic title that is doctor or the military ones. Okay. There's the first page. This is the preamble of the Constitution. And these are the important words mentioned here, which we were studying. Inequality, fraternity. Preamble was made later on. Now, to understand the basic of this, if you're jumping directly on this preamble only, you are cramming all these words, you will never understand this thing. At what is liberty? What is the positive and negative meaning of this liberty? Okay. once the question came in the prelims as well, what is the meaning of liberty? And there were two options given, both were right, if you'll see. And one was the positive one, positive meaning, one was a negative meaning. The positive meaning was right one. Negative you cannot pick. So many students having this confusion that both are right, both are not right. We have to talk about the positive approach of this word, because this constitution will never give you something negative meaning or negative approach. Till now, the what you have studied, the diversity and the discrimination, and we have understand that if there's different differences, discrimination, then there will be inequality. Okay. Next, what we were talking about, that government is imposing this. Government is creating the rules. Okay. So now comes the government. What is the government? How it will be starting their work? And what all things are the government following? And also, most importantly, from where this government came. You know about the elections? Elections hote hain. You go out for the vote. So you are going out to vote a person for what? What that person will do. You are electing someone. For what you are electing? Representation, welfare of the people. So that is the work. That person will be taking care of the welfare of the people. Okay. Representation, you want some kind of welfare. Now you want that, okay, we cannot do for everyone. We'll elect one person. Okay, that is the representation. Actually, that is power of ours only. We can do something for us, but we cannot do for everyone. Okay, but we all can come united and give our power to one single person that will be responsible for all these work, for the welfare, for the education, for the hygiene, etc. Okay, so you are electing that one person for yourself only. Okay. What we say is the government. Okay, government makes laws. That's the basic thing. What we know, the superficial thing is that government is the one, that is one body that is making the law and the rules which we have to follow. If you're not following, that will be a crime and at a different punishment for it. Okay, fine. Government is making it. How government is making it? And who made that particular person or that particular body a government? That is what we are going to study here. That we only made that person or that whole community, sorry, the whole body a government. That will be talking about our welfare only. Now, government, if you remember from your history part only, Britishers were there. Britishers were coming here. For example, you are living in some kind of a Calcutta region. Okay. There will be one Britisher, one officer ruling you that you cannot do this, you cannot do that. But on what order, on whose order that person, that Britisher were giving you the this orders? There was someone above it. Okay, who was it? Queen. Queen from the England was giving the orders. From all the officials, okay, coming down, there was one person, one head. One head will be giving that this should be the rule. Now you all other officers, you'll go in different sections, different sectors, different places, and you'll be implementing those rules. You'll be making other people to follow those rules. So rule was of one person, one particular government, one particular body that was giving out the rule, but it was implemented by many others. Okay, so government is not the one who that officer came towards you, but the one who's sitting at the upper level. Okay, so now the word comes monarchy, and also we have heard the democracy. Monarchy is this only, that the queen or the king is there, and whatever comes in the mind of the king or the queen, that okay, I want this to happen, implemented. That is monarchy. And monarchy will be like, we can say, with the generations. No other person can become a queen. only from the family of the queen only. The next generation of the queen, that can become the prince or the king or the queen. Among themselves only. Okay, that is the monarchy. But in our country, we know that no single family is there who is ruling the government. We are electing the person. Na? Any doubt in this, that we are electing the person? No doubt, right? We are electing someone. That person not necessarily be after, you can say that you can be seeing that person after the 5 years as well. 5 years, we have the term for our government. For 5 years, our government stays. Give us the rules. Is it necessary, like the person, if doing the welfare very properly, that person will come again? How that person will come again? You are only going to elect that person. You're going and casting your vote out. You are electing. Majority wins. That doesn't mean that person, that if this is a particular Prime Minister Modi, not necessarily that son of the Prime Minister Modi or any other family member of the Prime Minister Modi will only become next Prime Minister. No, you can change the Prime Minister. Who has the authority or who has the power to change the government? You have. So that particular type of government is democracy. Democracy, we remember, democracy is for the people, by the people, of the people. So people is very important. हमारे लिए ही है, हमारे थ्रू है, और हम ही हैं. Right? We are only there. Just because we all cannot stand that one particular position, we have elected one person. That is democracy. But monarchy, no. In monarchy, that does not happen. Lower levels, you can change the officials, but the person ruling at the upper level, at the uppermost level, will never change. Will be from that particular family only. And there is no fixed term that for the 5 years, if you're talking that 5 years, our government will be coming, and after 5 years, new elections, fresh elections, and again a new government. No. The queen will be ruling until the death. Right? That was another form of government. So these are different form of governments. Government, what type of government we are having in India, not necessarily we are having the same in London or any other country as well. Okay. Somewhere it's not the queen, but the military is ruling. That is a military government. Military rule is going on there. Okay. No particular, the person is not electing the military persons to come and rule us. That's a different case. So final decision-making power remains with the monarch, that is the king or the queen in monarchy. But with the democracy, final decision stays with us. We don't like this person, this person is not doing anything. It is with you only. After the term gets over, you elect the fresh person. The fresh government will come upon. Now, democracy is a rule by the people. And we have done the for the people and of the people. People are giving out their vote, and vote is your power. You are giving your power to them. It is not their power. Okay. That's why we call that you are the public servant, not the public ruler. You cannot rule us. You can serve us. And serve us, you have to make certain kind of rules and regulations. That is acceptable, but you cannot rule us. That whatever comes in your mind, from now on, this rule will be coming upon. No. Okay, now what we're talking about the votes. Votes earlier, it was not given to everyone. Again, the discrimination was there. Women were not given the right to vote. Hence, there was a struggle during the World War as well, that women wanted the power to vote. Why they wanted the power to vote? If you want some kind of power, why you want that? Some for representation. But if you want some kind of power, why you want that? Because you're in some kind of suffering. Then only you want that. Okay, then only you want, I should have this power so that I can make this position change or this situation change. So they were also suffering. They were suffering due to the ruling of the particular, the official or whatever they were. Okay, so men only were having the right to vote. Men used to go out, cast their vote and come. Men only were allowed in the discussions. There was no one who were listening the women and their needs. What happens now? When you elect, you have many areas. Okay, they're known as constituencies, but you have many areas from particular area, you go for the vote. You elect your person, and that will happen all over India. Now, that person will do work for you, but that is not the sole government. That person is your representation. It will go in the parliament and represent you that our people need this thing to be done. We need funds for this thing. Okay, that's why you need this power to vote. Who were there to listen about the women? No one. Because in the discussion, in the debates, in everything, even the power to vote was not with the women. So no one was listening to the women, and they now wanted the power to vote. Because they found that, okay, men are involved in the debates and the discussions because of their power to vote. They are discussing something. Why they're discussing? Because the elections are coming. They have to cast their vote. So hence they're discussing that this has happened in our area, this has not happened in our area. They're coming to a conclusion. Women also wanted to wear part. That do something for us as well. Okay. So it started, and when you give right to vote to everyone, okay, right to vote, that is the suffrage, right to vote. And when it's given to everyone, that is universal suffrage. Okay. Obviously, the age criteria will be different. It's 18 or 21. Okay. Many countries can be different. Okay. Some particular. So it has been given that all have the right to vote, irrespective of the gender, caste, race, religion. Anyone can come to vote. Only the requirement is your age should be this much. Okay. Now, key elements of democratic government. What we have studied, that our country is having the democratic government. We are having democracy. We are electing the person. We are casting our vote. We have the right to vote. Now, what are the key elements of democratic government other than this? First is the representation, that it is a form of a representative government. Because that is not a person who has come on his own. We have selected or elected that person to go and represent us. So first, that is your voting ability, or your having this power to debate, discuss, and then think and go and vote. That is nothing but the participation. You are participating in everything. That person who was elected, fine, that is going to sit in the parliament and discussing for you. But what that person will be discussing? Your problems only. You were there, you were discussing that we need this thing. Rallies mein kya hota hai? What happens in the rallies and your campaigns? They give you something which you require, right? Then only you go to vote. So means that is the requirement of your community, of your particular area. That person will go there and discuss about your needs. So that is your participation. Although it is indirectly, but it is your participation. That is not going, that person will not go for its own benefit. Personal benefit le nahi jayega. He will go for your benefit, for your community and your area. That's why we call that you are the public servant and not the public ruler. Okay. Now, participation, what kind of participation as well, other than this casting vote? और किस तरीके से participate कर सकते हो? Discussion, debates. What all happens? Protest, rallies for a particular cause. What is that? Nothing but a participation. Okay, you are creating a pressure on the government that this should happen. If you are following a campaign, if you are taking out a rally, that this should not happen, stop this, stop that. What is that? That is creating, that will cover the media. Media coverage will be there. It will go to the government, because government cannot come, fine. If it's listening from that particular community, fine. If not, you choose other ways. Other ways can be anything. Okay, protest, rallies, or even now for you have social media campaigns. On social media only, you don't have to go out. On social media only, you are signing the campaign. Okay, so that is what? Your participation only. You're participating in that particular cause that this should happen. That will eventually go to the government and will create the pressure on the government. And now this topic, you'll study more deeply in the Lakshmikant, in the title, pressure groups. So pressure groups are nothing else but you. People are only pressure groups. They're creating pressure through some kind of campaigns. And when people, like, they don't go themselves, what they do? They donate or do some kind of help in the NGOs or something. NGOs are carrying out their campaign. Not NGOs, some kind of other communities can be there. or one single, we can say, a rally is formed for a particular cause only. So you can participate in many ways, by participating physically or by participating in that, giving the funds or doing something else. You're participating. That gives you the participation. And all this participation is indirect. That's why we also say that our democracy, which we are electing, that Lok Sabha and this government which we are electing, this is indirect democracy. आप नहीं जा रहे हो वहां पे बैठने, पार्लियामेंट में, यू आर नॉट डिस्कसिंग एवरीथिंग. Who is discussing on your behalf? Your representative. Directly, you are not involved. Your problems have been mentioned or put forth by the representative. So that is the indirect representation or indirect democracy, we can call it. Okay. Democracy also, you have seen that it is indirect. It is also direct as well. Direct, we'll see in the further chapter. What kind of direct democracy we see in our country. Okay. So indirect democracy, understood? समझ में आ गया? What is indirect democracy? That you directly are not participating, but your representative is participating in the debate, discussion, and come up with a solution for your community or for your area. Okay. स्ट्राइक्स में एक पर्टिकुलर कॉज पे अब स्ट्राइक पे बैठ गए कि हम काम नहीं कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, आप जैसे उस पर्टिकुलर कंपनी के लिए यू आर सिटिंग ऑन, वर्कर्स हैव सिट ऑन द स्ट्राइक. Because of the workers only, that factory was working, production was created, you stood on the strike. We are not working, we will not come here, we will not do the work. Okay, in DU also you have seen DUTA teachers will go on a strike, that we will not come to the college for the lectures. Okay, so this is a strike because of your some kind of work, that particular community, that particular body was working and you have stopped working. Dharna is like you have sit on some kind of for some kind of reason in a peaceful area on a whole lot of large ground. Dharna, हम बैठ गए हैं यहाँ पे, we're not doing our work, but for stopping, because of stopping our work, you are not affected. Government will not get affected, neither of any of the company or factory will get affected. Only your personal office or your company will be getting affected because you are not present there. That strike is for particular that factory only or for that combination. Okay, dharna, कोई एक cause ले लिया, girl education or anything, and you all from different communities, from different backgrounds, different areas as well, different work culture as well, you're coming and sitting in the one place. Okay, signature campaigns, you are signing it, just go and sign that campaign. Okay, means that these lot of people have supported this campaign. Okay, rally is when you go out with a lot of people that and you have a flag or something, that kind of is the rally. It is also a protest. Okay, the only thing now, this participation, I told you this is allowed, you do participate like this, but if we come to the government, this participation will be allowed, but if it creates a violence, then the government will be taking action. You can create pressure on the government to do certain kind of work, but it should be peaceful. You're going on a this dharna or rallies, strike also, just not come to the work, don't destroy some kind of things. Violence means you're destroying, you are disturbing the public decorum. If the public decorum has been disturbed, then the government and the police will come into play. Otherwise, if you are in the peaceful rally, in the peaceful dharna, no one can stop you. Okay, it's your personal will. Okay. Now this line, the government had to change its decision because it is responsible to the people. Because of this rally, dharna or protest, whatever you're doing, you are speaking out, voicing out some kind of a cause. It is creating a pressure. Due to that pressure, government will eventually change its decision. For example, if you remember that CA bill, citizenship bill, remember anyone? कुछ बहुत ज़्यादा न्यूज़ में आया था, that bill is being opposed by many of the people. नहीं याद? CA, Citizenship Act, अब तो act बन गया है, ठीक है? Now act is implementable. Act, if it has been formed, you have to follow the rules. But before that, government, or we can say they just give you a summary, kind of a summary in the form of a bill, that this bill we are proposing. And it consider main these pointers. Internal pointers, you never know what is in the inside of the pages, but yes, summary of it you will know. If people accept, it's fine. They didn't accept it, and hence they came out on the road for the protest. And that passing out of that bill became delayed. So why it became delayed? Parliament was not like on the leave, it was working, but the pressure was created by the people. So working was affected. This is the example of indirect participation, and indirectly that you are responsible for the government. If something is coming, you have to either accept it, or if you're not, then give your reasons out. There were many debates. There were many debates on this kind of bill, that this should not happen, this should not be mentioned. What is the reason of this? Okay. Fine. Okay, one more also, that criticizing. So that is criticizing nothing else, but if you're not liking something, you criticize the government, that this should not have taken place. Some kind of, like, for example, crime has taken place, and the working of the officials was not up to the mark. Now, you know that officials come under certain kind of government. Government has not taken any action on that. So what is the first thought that came into your mind? Government is not doing anything. That is what a criticism. When you do criticize, when you critically debate, you come to a conclusion, and that conclusion will affect their next elections. So your next decision of who to vote. Okay, so one kind of participation is the criticizing as well. Now that's not mandatory that everyone has to criticize or everyone has to accept it. You can be peaceful about it also. Okay, but these are the form in which we can say that you all have the indirect participation. Okay. Now, equality and justice. Justice also, we have seen that preamble, there was a word justice. Okay, these are a word mentioned in the preamble just to emphasize that these things, justice, equality, fraternity, these cannot be taken out of the India. Okay, it is mentioned in the constitution in order to keep it in India forever. Now, one statement is written here: equality and justice are inseparable. If you are treating the people equally, justified. Justice has already taken place. But if you are treating them unequally on the basis of something, religion basis or the gender basis or anything, you already have created the injustice. How? That person was also having the same right. Being the citizen of the India, you all have the same rights. So if that right has not been given to you, you can ask for it. You can ask the justice for it. So they are inseparable. You cannot say that, okay, inequality is there and justice is also there. No, justice can never take place where the inequality is there. Justice can only take place where there is equality. Clear? The government also recognizes this and makes special provisions for groups within society that are unequal. Now, we have already discussed that we have diversity. Now, when we are so much diverse in aspects of religion and caste and your gender and everything, then how can we be equal? Logical question: how can we be equal? We are different. We belong to a different community. We have our different priorities. So for that, the government will make special provisions, but not for everyone. Government has certain kind of rules and certain kind of statements given that because of these reasons, which are of top priority, we are giving you special provision. Otherwise not. Otherwise, there are many things you cannot ask for the equality in a private hospital. Going in a private hospital and you ask that that we are like financially not well and you have to do it for free, or you have to do it for a less value. Go in a public government hospital, and there you can ask for the equality. Same things, same people are treated equally. But here you cannot ask that okay, that person is like rich, so can pay off fee, but we cannot do the justice with us. Their justice cannot be done. That does not come under the government. This is also one thing that, because when you go and read many things, many aspects, you'll get confused that why this is not happening here. But you'll forget that that is the private institutions that have their own set of rules, which will be formed under the government set of rules only. That cannot go out of the government rules, but they cannot become the government institution. Certain kind of rules are different. Okay. So government are ensuring. Now, where comes the inequality? One person is poor, one is rich. So fine, you have a private hospital. Both are going, one can pay the fee, one cannot. What will government do? Private institution ko shut nahi karwayenge. We'll open a public hospital. We'll open a government hospital. Okay, fine. For you, for this community, for the poor community, we have opened this hospital, come here. Okay, we cannot destroy that particular employment. But yes, for different special provision we have, you can come here and you can have a free treatment. That was special provision. That is made. In employment as well, you can see that government, when the government has came out some vacancy, release some vacancy, you can see that for this person, this will be the cutoff. For this person, this will be the cutoff. Okay, cutoffs are different. Eligibility criteria are different. Age gap is different. Okay, what is that? Special provisions under certain rules. Okay, so that is the meaning of that special provision for the groups will be given, which are unequal, already unequal. So we are trying to create the equality, because right to health is with everyone. Right to employment is with everyone. Education is with everyone. If you cannot go to the private schools, then you have a government school. Okay. This was clear till now? इसे आज पढ़ना है या फिर to stop right now? You have half an hour. You have half an hour. Break ले लो. Okay. Any questions या कुछ है तो मुझे पूछ लो अभी. I also want to take. That is not specific that is found here only. It was like there's a wool created. Now the particular weavers, they are creating some fine quality of that wool. Okay, particularly their we can say their work is different from other, and they have kept their name Pashmina wool. That is the thing. Pashmina is not the thing that ye yahan pe milna chahiye, nahi milna chahiye. That is the name. Okay, that is the name kept. It is wool only. But Pashmina wool, why? Pashmina was kept by them only. They were finely weaving it. So that was different from other kind of wool, we can say shawls or other kind of woolen clothes. Okay, so Pashmina is a very fine one. यही है जो जिसके लिए आप प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो. किसके लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो? सर्विस. You came about with the word civil service. Okay, civil service मतलब civilians only. People, civilians, उनके लिए आप सर्विस करने जा रहे हो. So fine, on the above level we have ministers. They'll do some kind of work, but again suppose they have made a rule, untouchability is not there. Fine, it is a crime. When they'll come to know that this crime is happening in that place, when they'll come to know, कोई report होगी. When some people will come out and report that crime, that untouchability is going on here. If the community is very in the, we can say, backward or outskirts, where even the public officials, okay, when you know that, for example, in village area, we can say the areas, the states, which are mostly covered with the forest. Okay, there's no more development there. You might leave some kind of village. You don't even know that some kind of village is there. Okay, and they are practicing untouchability. Don't even know it. Public officials will go there, some kind of regular visits will be done there, but it is not particularly there. Or even if there, agar wahan pe hai bhi, so what will happen? The officials will be of that particular community only, that particular area only. Election will be taking, or there will be like clearing some exam or something. अपॉइंटमेंट जो भी होगा उसी बेसिस पे होगा, वहीं के लोग होंगे, दे आर नॉट रिपोर्टिंग दैट क्राइम, so that crime is not coming in the eyes of the government. ठीक है, तो इसके लिए यही है, go with the honesty. If you are like given some kind of backward region, go and work there with honesty, which people eventually forget after the most of their years. You know it. That's why there is so much of inequality, and that is why it is not reaching the grassroots level. Upper level it has been done, okay, because of more of population, because of more of education, but there is no much of the population, that population is not educated well, and no one is like trying to get above and report these crimes and everything. They're okay with it. So when they're okay, why they're okay also, that okay fine, this much बस इतने ही तो लोग हैं, it's fine, क्या दिक्कत है? So वो जो word है ना, क्या दिक्कत है, वो उन्हें दिक्कत नहीं है, but यहाँ दिक्कत हो रही है because of, क्यों हो रही है? Because many of the surveys and many of the when we came, index release होते हैं and the markings are given to the countries. Because of all these things and because of all these inequalities only and differences only and not implementation of the rules only, India is below level. कहीं उसकी 131 rank है, कहीं उसकी 136 rank है. So why it is ranking? Because of these things only, that grassroots level तक अब तक पहुंचा नहीं है. So public officials has to go only. That community will never come. Will come, then they are, what we can say, in Panchayati Raj only we are coming with that if panchayats are like made and we have sarpanchs and they're working, okay, if they have done some kind of a good work, like some kind of development they have made in their village, they are recognized, they are given medal, they are given awards for it. That is giving the, we can say, courage to other ones as well. Okay, in that way you can do. Any other question?
Society or government,
Interrelated. You might not see the depth of this interrelation in this polity, but if you read the sociology, you'll see this interrelation. They are very much interrelated. Why? There's no alien coming to rule you. There's no alien coming to make rules for you. The person belonging to the society only is going above. That's why you can see the very much example of it. You have judgments. Supreme Court has given this statement, okay? And after years, Supreme Court only is changing that judgment. Why? Time changed. Society may, things have changed. Okay, so now because the judges have come, new judges with new approach, new thinking, and new way of looking at the crime. So they are changing their judgment. So this is required. This is interrelated, and hence that is why, that is the reason that constitution, our constitution, is not that much rigid. That is a fix. लिख दिया कि यही होना है तो यही होगा, नहीं होगा. It can be changed. It can be amended. Okay. And why it cannot be amended? किस reasons में नहीं हो सकता amend? वो you studied the Lakshmikant only. There are many reasons कि वो नहीं हो सकता, इस aspect में नहीं हो सकता. But in many aspects it can be amended. It can be changed. Okay. ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से मिलेगा. कैसे मिलेगा? Because of the reservation. Why you have been given the different cut-offs? Because of the reservation of that people. General में तो नहीं करते ना हम. General में those who are the community are coming in the general, उसमें भी differences हैं. There are many communities in the general, but for different community we are not taking out the different cut-off. But for specific ones, SC, ST, OBC. Why? Because these are given the reservation, and reservation is still not ended. Okay, now when we are talking about reservation, सबको पता है reservation, right? अभी बताओ that reservation should be abolished or not, with reason. A discussion. We'll cover this 5, 6, 7, 4 chapters are left. We'll discuss it tomorrow. A discussion. बताओ reservation should be abolished or not? Like totally खत्म कर देना चाहिए कि थोड़ा बहुत रख लेना चाहिए? Okay. Okay. Anyone? बताओ. With reasons. ठीक है, उसने बता दिया मेरिट. हाँ बताओ. So you want that reservation should be there. Okay. Anyone else? और कौन है for में against में? Anyone? कोई reason? Yes, no बता दो. Reservation should be there or not?
Hello, can I answer?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I thought that you're not listening to me. Okay, fine. I think that reservation should be abolished, because if they are asking for the equality, so I think that everyone have a right to to be equal, right? I don't think that everybody, like some people are getting reservation and they are getting all the privileges and some are not. So
Okay.
according to, and in today's life, everyone have the right of education, everyone, and everyone is getting educated in a very better facilities. So I think that there should be no reservation for anyone according to this equality thing, but I know it's not.
Right. Okay. Should I answer now? ठीक है, दो बातें कही आप सबने अपने ही में कॉन्ट्रास्ट करके. क्या? फर्स्ट, अपार्ट फ्रॉम यू, दैट इट शुड बी अबॉलिश्ड. हो जाना चाहिए abolished, सबको मिलना चाहिए. What about those people who were talking just before 2 minutes only, that from very grassroots area, like from very backward area, some kind of village? What you just mentioned, that we have right to education. We have right. Don't they have right? They have right. उनके पास भी right है. Fine. Right to education है, but right to education वहां implement नहीं हो पा रहा है. ठीक है, अब बात आते हैं मेरिट पे. ठीक है, कैसे नहीं हो पा रहा है? फाइनेंसेस नहीं है, अच्छे स्कूल में नहीं भेज पा रहे हैं. नो गुड स्कूल्स, फाइन. नो गुड स्कूल्स, नो मेरिट, बट दे आर गुड for that area. They are good grasping power, they are understanding, they can work well. At least in that area they can work well. So will it not be a justice that for them we should just decrease a cutoff by 2 or 3 numbers? That is the reservation. Reservation, what we think, what we see is as only between this much, that we are living in and we are very much fed up of this reservation. These people are going above. Which community, like from examples, SC/ST community, even if living in Delhi, they can afford Delhi. They belonging to good schools. They belong to good families. They will be going to good schools. They will be getting good education, good marks. Hence, you think that this should be abolished. They are also getting this much marks. I am also getting this much marks. So why is there kind of a discrimination? But think about, if you remove all total SC/ST. This is not only the SC person which we are talking about who is living in Delhi. That in the that term, in forest area, some kind of village is there. In that region also we have SC and ST, which we might not in this present time, but we might reach there with some good schools and facilities in 2-3 years. That is the reason. And when the government have power, then they will be taking care of the grassroots level as well. They cannot just talk about the present level. Okay, how much far I can see and this much only I can rule. You know about the regions you cannot reach, but there are people living there. They might also belong to SC/ST or OBC or some other caste, which you wouldn't know. So we have to keep reservation for them. Now come why you are getting fed up. Because they are not getting opportunity, but these people are getting opportunity. And they might be taking a wrong advantage of that opportunity. So that is a different, we can say, problem to deal with. Okay. So now keep this in mind while answering in the interview, because you'll become the public official only. And you cannot just go and say, we'll ban this and we'll remove this all total. You cannot remove anything all total in a one go. You cannot ban anything in all total in one go. It will be having step by step. Step by step ही कोई लॉ लाया जाता है, step by step ही उसे remove किया जाता है. Okay, this thing. हाँ, 10%. Again, that we are having some population which again upon the like good facilities, are they getting or not? Why they're not getting? They're fine. They're in the general category only, but they're not getting that like facility. So they are giving, like, we now consider some village in the backward region with the SC/ST community. Now consider that is not SC/ST, but that is general only. But no facilities are there. They want to study EWS quota. Now that is different. I know what your problem is, that many people are giving them that we are having the certificate even if they are not in the EWS criteria. So that is the wrong use of your right. For that, the government also has the rules. It is a crime, and if caught, the government will take action. Now the only problem is we have less number of officials, even less number of honest officials, and they are not taking action upon it. If person can give money for the certificate of EWS, that person can also give money as a rishwat, and that person will stay quiet that no complaint was filed and this certificate is original. So thought process should be different. The problem you're dealing, don't get the problem on your personal level, that you are personally feeling this, so that is a problem. Understand with the perspective of a different community and person as well, and consider whole India as one. सिर्फ दिल्ली को मान के मत चलेगा ना इंटरव्यू में, तो दिल्ली नहीं है, और भी जगह है, ठीक है? So we'll start this chapter tomorrow. Okay, I'm also not feeling well. Panchayati Raj, municipal corporation, the basic understanding is given, and tomorrow we'll finish this out. Okay. This PPT, I'll make the staff to forward you.